Ever since Seth MacFarlane brought the Griffins to life, Family Guy has dominated the adult cartoon popularity contest. The show depicts the adventures of a typical American family. Okay, well, not so typical.
Where's my money? You gonna give me my money?
The over-the-top, ridiculous, and at times random comedy separates Family Guy from a lot of other slice-of-life animated comedies.
I'm gonna lay down a few rules, all right? Commandment number 1, shut the hell up.
But with all the crazy things happening in Quahog, it makes sense that fans would come up with some rather weird and at times downright dark theories about the Griffins.
Oh, what's next? What's next? What's next? Oh God, I've been so bloody naughty.
I'm Brad with Wicked Bench. Don't you know about the bird? Because these are dark theories about Family Guy that change everything. But first, remember, if you don't subscribe and hit that notification bell, it will upset the evil monkey who lives in your closet.
Chris, you know there's no such thing.
Well, about time for me to be hitting the old dusty trail.
Family Guy is told from Stewie's point of view. Stewie is, to no surprise, one of the most beloved characters in the show.
Okay, girls, are you all ready to play?
And it's not difficult to guess why. The crazy weapons, the obsessions with ruling the world, the bizarre adventures and chaotic situations, the over-the-top flamboyance.
You're gonna watch me get pregnant. I wanna look at you when it happens.
Amid all the craziness that is Family Guy, Stewie seems to be the craziest of them all, and that may have a reason behind it.
Goose! Oh, come on now, I barely touched you.
A recent fan theory suggested that the whole show was told to us from Stewie's point of view. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense.
Good morning, Stewie.
You.
Maybe Stewie's bits are just in his imagination, because there's no way a toddler could build a time machine among other things, right?
To learn more about drugs, visit your local library.
And have you noticed that all of his adventures are mostly with Brian the dog? Maybe that's why Brian seems to be the only one who can understand Stewie. And as we know, a baby will almost always play with the dog. If this theory is real, it could answer the show's long-running question: why does only Brian understand Stewie? What if he doesn't?
Brian, please, I need help.
Totally.
The fans suggest that maybe Brian and the Griffins don't understand Stewie when he talks, and all of Brian's and Stewie's adventures are just a part of Stewie's imagination while playing. The show could be entirely from the baby's point of view, and that could be the reason why everything is all wacky with Peter doing stupid things all the time. As we know, a kid's memory is not the greatest, and this could be Stewie's recalling of all his memories.
Well, I'm off to buy imaginary groceries.
And if the show was all in his imagination, it might also be why, throughout the series, none of the characters have aged or anything. Do you remember the episode Back to the Pilot, when Stewie and Brian go back in time to the series premiere? If you watch it carefully, you'll see that Stewie references that episode as his first memory.
Stewie, what's going on?
I don't know.
This could mean that each episode is a memory. The theory suggests that he probably internalizes situations and adds his own childish touch to them. And when he's not involved in the situation, he knows about the story because maybe Peter tells him before he goes to bed.
Oh, no one wants to get finger banged by you, Meg.
Why don't you just go do that to yourself?
This could well be the reason why some people can understand him while some can't. The entire show is a manifestation of Stewie's perception of the world.
Close the door, the moonlight burns.
The stories of the series are extremely exaggerated because it's all from a baby's perspective. And this could also be why Brian can talk, because Stewie just understands the dog as a member of the family, all of whom can speak.
I prevented 9/11. How could that possibly be a bad thing?
Do you think the entire show could be told through Stewie's eyes? That would explain a lot, right? The Griffin kids are products of incest. This is kind of a weird subject to talk about, but according to a fan theory, Chris, Meg, and little Stewie are possibly the products of incest.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to start digging around in this area.
How can this be? Well, the proof, they say, lies in an episode of Season 4, where Peter tells his family about the Griffins' family history, and we find out that Peter's grandfather, Nate, married Lois's great-grandmother. This makes Peter and Lois blood relatives, and their kids, well yeah, products of an incestuous relationship.
Don't thank me, Lois. Thank my ancestors.
Yes, I know, it's shocking and pretty gross, but if you take a closer look, maybe this could be the reason why they have such special personalities, right?
So many confusing feelings!
There are a lot of opinions among the fans. Some agree with the theory and state that it isn't really a problem since Lois and Peter are very distant relatives and that after so many generations it wouldn't cause any problems for their kids. Other fans state that the appearance of Peter Griffin's biological father, the Irish Mickey McFinnigan in Season 5, proves that Peter is not related to Nate Griffin at all.
You can't be me son. You and me are nothing alike.
But Whatever may be the truth, the matter of fact is that, incestuous or not, the Griffin kids are really not all there. And that's one of the reasons the public loves the series so much. Do you think there may be a chance of incest in the Griffin family?
Well, at least it's not raining.
Susie Swanson is American Dad's Avery Bullock. It is a known fact that American Dad, another crazy animated sitcom created by Seth MacFarlane, and Family Guy exist in the same universe. The characters from both shows often appear in the other, to the point where a lot of fans have asked for a crossover episode. It's also a fact that little Susie Swanson's inner monologue is voiced by Patrick Stewart, who also voices CIA Director Avery Bullock in American Dad.
It's quite all right. I've seen worse.
One fan theory suggests that they are the same person. How? Well, in American Dad, the CIA has a device that allows a person to remotely control an avatar of any shape or size. And in the episode, Virtual Insanity, Director Bullock does indeed have one of these avatars, a baby. And he constantly utilizes this avatar for, well, nutritional purposes.
Hey, what's going on?
What the hell? Get out of here!
What the theory suggests is that Director Bullock has been using little Susie as an avatar, so he can have his fantasies satisfied with Bonnie.
This is sick, man.
Could this bizarre theory be true? If so, imagine if Quagmire got a hold of this technology.
I was born 9 times that day.
Stewie, Meg, and Chris are not Peter's kids. We've already talked about the creepy incest theory, but there's another fan theory regarding the Griffin kids, and perhaps it's even weirder.
Lois, can I keep the little person, Peter?
One fan suggests that Stewie, Meg, and Chris could not be Peter's kids at all. Many have pointed out that they don't look like Peter, but more questioning began after an episode in season 15. In this episode, Peter donated sperm, and the resulting kids looked pretty much like him.
Chinese Peter, very hungry.
If Peter's kids don't look like him to this extent, could this mean they could be someone else's children? The theory states that Lois had tons of affairs in her life, resulting in Meg, Chris, and Stewie.
Well, he kissed me and I kind of let him.
Then again, many argued that this could be debunked. If you take a closer look, you will see the kids' similarities with Peter. Chris is obese and has Peter's chin. Meg has poor eyesight and uses glasses. And little Stewie is very much a look-alike with Peter's other biological son, Bertram. Do you think the Griffin kids are really Peter's?
I wonder. Aha!
Seth MacFarlane hates the show. This seems like a pretty weird theory, but that doesn't mean it's false. How could the creator of a very successful TV series hate his own creation? Well, if you think about it, many artists throughout history ended up hating their own work. Could this one be the case?
No, damn you! I've got to finish what I started!
One theory suggests that this could be true, and Seth MacFarlane shows us this truth through Brian's character.
They are stupid.
The theory basically suggests that the different episodes focusing on the dog's writing experiences show an abiding dissatisfaction from Seth MacFarlane about where the show has ended up.
I knew it! I didn't want to believe it!
Brian, as you know, is voiced by Seth himself, and is often seen as Seth's mouthpiece on a variety of topics. Throughout the series, Brian has managed to achieve his desired fame more than once, and never because of his beloved and terrible novel, Faster Than the Speed of Love.
Some friends become enemies, some enemies become friends, yeah?
Brian was never able to do what he loved, and always had to resort to cheap and meaningless stuff to be successful. You can see this in 2 episodes where Brian became a bit successful. In one of them, Brian writes a TV pilot that gets accepted, but the studio mangles and twists the show from a heartwarming premise into a bizarre cliche full of cheap jokes.
With my chimp sidekick?
The studio keeps upping the ante and making things more and more ridiculous until Brian quits. In the other episode, Brian writes a bestseller, which is absolute trash from the start. It's something he makes to appeal to the mass market because no one wants the book he poured his heart and soul into. It's popular, but half of it is literally empty pages. Brian becomes pompous and insufferable and forgets that he literally created the book to be stupid and to troll readers.
I'm a little creeped out.
Hey, congratulations, somebody famous now hates you.
It's possible to take these examples and see that Seth never even really liked Family Guy, but just intended it to be a mass-market show copying The Simpsons since no one would let him do the work he really wanted. And certainly, if you take these examples in connection with how little time Seth spends on the show at this point, as well as the comments he's made over the years, it seems clear that Seth may hate where his creation has ended up.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
Could the creator of such a famous famous show hate his own creation? No matter what some people think, possibly Seth MacFarlane included, Family Guy is a beloved show, and millions of people love the ridiculous adventures of the Griffins. But do you think any of these dark theories make sense? Do you have any dark theories of your own? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. But most importantly, stay wicked.